Good morning friends. In this video I would like to discuss the topics related to the indexing mechanism and different types of indexing heads and the methods related to the indexing. First, let us start with what is indexing. Indexing is nothing but an operation which is used to divide the peripheral surface of the work part into equal number of divisions. So let us understand this with a simple example. If suppose I have a cylindrical work part, I need to convert this into hexagonal bolted surface or hexagonal bolt. So I need to divide this periphery into how many number of divisions here? 6 number of divisions, so that I can able to achieve the hexagonal bolted surface. So this indexing operation is used to produce hexagonal headed bolts or square headed bolts. You can also cut the splines on the shafts. You can produce fluting drills. You can also produce caps. And here, what are the different types of heads that are available here? The first one is called as a plain or simple dividing head. In this particular figure, you can see how exactly this plain or simple dividing head looks like. You have the spindle. The spindle is connected with this index plate. So what is this index plate? This is what a disc-shaped structure, and it is having 24 hole circle inside it. There are 24 number of holes here, and this index plate can be rotated or not, or that can be engaged for rotation or not. That is depending on this locking pin. If the locking pin is engaged with the index plate, then the entire shaft will be held at a particular location. If this is disengaged, if this locking pin is disengaged, then you can rotate the shaft by rotating this handle. So let us take the same example, that if I want to achieve a hexagonal bolted surface on the cylindrical work part, then how many number of divisions or how many number of divisions I need to make the peripheral surface? That is 6 number. So here the formula is 24 by n, where n will talk about number of divisions which are to be made on the peripheral surface. So in this particular example, that is 24 by 6, which means that which is equivalent to 4. So what it means is, we can if you rotate this handle for 4 complete revolutions, then you can generate the hexagonal bolted surface on the cylindrical work part. And this is also called as the rapid indexing. And sometimes it may not be possible to get all the fractions by using this plain or simple indexing. Then we will go for this universal dividing head. So this is what the construction of this universal dividing head. The main point you need to understand is, this 3 is called as the index crank or simply crank, and 4 is called as the index plate. On this index plate, you can see there are different types of hole circles. That may be 27 hole circle or 18 hole circle or different 15 hole circle. There are hole circles which are there on this index plate. Usually there are 6 different hole circles which are placed on this index plate. And here the work part can be held by using this 3-jar chuck. And the function of the 3-jar chuck is to hold and rotate the work part. Or if you are using the live center and dead center, you can place the work part between the live center and the dead center, and that can be rotated by using the carrier and catch plate. That is what shown in this particular figure. You can see this is what the carrier and catch plates, and this is what the work part. Now if you want to learn something related to how exactly this mechanism operates, first let us try to understand different parts related to this particular mechanism. First thing is, 13 is called as the index crank or simply crank. Number 12 is called as the index plate. Number 11 is called as the locking pin related to index plate. And 10th one is called as the worm shaft. And you can see this 14th is called as the crank pin. And the 4th one is called as the worm gear. which is placed directly on the worm shaft, and this worm gear is coming in contact with worm. Sixth one is called as the worm, and this worm is placed directly on this spindle shaft, and this spindle shaft is holding the work part by using the live center and carrier and catch plate, or you can directly place the chuck on this spindle shaft. Okay, so first let us try to understand how exactly it will operate. So if you want to rotate this spindle shaft, then that rotation is possible through this index crank rotation. If you rotate this index crank, this particular index crank, then this worm shaft is going to be rotated, and the worm shaft is transferring the motion to the worm through the worm gear, and worm is placed on the spindle shaft, so the spindle shaft is going to have the rotation. In this way, the rotation of the index crank is transferred to the rotation of the spindle shaft, which is holding the work part, which is holding and revolving the work part. And you can also see some interesting features related to this. That is, here you can rotate this particular crank, okay, by locking this index plate by using this locking pin which was shown in the red color, or you can disengage this lock pin, then both this crank plate and index plate, crank pin and index plate can be rotated simultaneously. Is it clear? So now the point you need to understand is, what are the spindle shaft that will get the motion either by using this crank pin, crank rotation of the crank, or if you rotate both this crank and index plate simultaneously, then this spindle shaft will achieve the motion by the combination of these two movements. Let us try to understand how that is possible. So if this locking pin is removed, then if you rotate this crank, then this index plate will also rotate it, and on this index plate you are having this bevel gear, and this bevel gear is transferring the motion to one more bevel gear which is shown here, and these are called as the change of gears. And these change of gears are useful in differential indexing. We will discuss in the next module or next video. And here what happens is, whenever this crank is rotated, then this spindle shaft is rotated through this worm and worm gear attachment, and when the crank is rotated, then index plate is also rotated, and this index plate is transferring the motion through these bevel gears and this change of gears to this spindle shaft. So what it means is, the spindle shaft motion is decided by the movement of both crank and index plate. Okay, sometimes these two motions will be added together to give the motion of the spindle shaft, or they are subtracted to get the spindle shaft movement. That means the crank is rotating the spindle shaft in clockwise direction, and this index plate is rotating the spindle shaft in anti-clockwise direction. Then what is the net effect? That is the subtraction. If both are rotating, if the crank pin and index plate both are rotating the work part in the same direction, they will add on together to get the desired rotation at the work part surface. Okay, these are the points you need to understand whenever you are learning the things related to the indexing head mechanism. So first let us understand what are the types of indexing. In this particular video, I would like to talk about this plane indexing and angular indexing. So first one, let us start. Let us understand the things related to the simple indexing. So in the simple indexing, what we need to understand is, here there is a worm and worm gear setup here, and they have the teeth ratio of 1:40. So what it means is, if you rotate this particular crank, which is rotating this worm shaft, which is holding the worm gear. So if this crank is rotated by one complete revolution, so then what happens? then this work part is rotated by 1/40th revolution. Okay, or you can explain the same thing in different manner. That is, if the crank is rotated by 40 revolutions, then the work part is rotated by 1 complete revolution. This work part will be rotated by 1 complete revolution if we have 40 revolutions of this crank. That is what the meaning of simple indexing. The point you need to understand in simple indexing or angular indexing is the index plate which was shown here. This is always in locked position. How can we ensure that is in locked position? That is by using this locking pin. And what we are doing in simple or angular indexing, we are simply rotating this crank so that it will rotate the worm shaft. Through worm shaft, the motion is transferred from gear and worm to this work part. Is it clear? So what it means, if you rotate the crank for 1 complete revolution, then the spindle shaft which is holding the work part, that is rotated by 1/40th revolution. Or in other words, if the crank is rotated by 40 revolutions, then the work part is rotated by 1 complete revolutions. Is it clear? So again, I'm repeating, the point you need to understand is here we are rotating only the crank or index crank to get the desired motion at the work part. So here, in order to facilitate different fractions, we are using index plates, and these are the 3 index plates which are developed by Brown and Sharp. And here on the index plate we are having different hole circle, that is what we discussed. And here the plate number 1 is holding 6 different hole circles which are mentioned here. That means 15 hole circle is there, then 16 hole circle, then 17 hole circle, then 18, then 19, then 20 hole circle. Similarly, plate number 2 and plate number 3. And these are accepted as the standard index plates by Indian machine tool manufacturers. And there are other types of index plates that are also developed by the Parkinson that was given in this slide. So now, how to achieve this simple indexing? Let us try to understand that, and that is done by utilizing this particular formula, that is 40/n. What is n here talking about? N is talking about the number of divisions which you want to achieve on the work part. Now let us take some examples to understand this. So if you want to achieve, or if you want to divide the entire surface into 8 equal number of divisions, that means I want to get octagonal surface on the work part. So how to achieve that? 40/8. That is 5. So what is the meaning of 5? Here we are getting the whole number. So 5 explains that we have to rotate the this index crank for 5 complete revolutions so that you can generate the octagonal surface on the work part. So let us take one more example. If I want to get 18 number of teeth on the work part, so I want to produce the gear which is having 18 number of teeth. What is the formula we are using? 40/n. What is n here? N is 18. So 40/18. So here we won't get the whole number. We will get a mixed integer or mixed number, that is 24/18. So what is the meaning of this? Let us try to understand this. So here we have the denominator. Denominator will explain which whole circle we have to utilize in order to divide the work part. Which whole circle we have to use. And here what it means is I need to use 18 hole circle. So is the 18 hole circle index plate is available or not? That is what we have to check. So here there is 18 hole circle. So which plate that is? Plate number 1. So for this 18 number of teeth production, I need to use plate number 1 which is having 18 hole circle. So what we need to do? We need to rotate the crank for 2 complete revolution. After that, I need to move up to the 4th hole in the 18-hole circle. So that is what the meaning of this. So what I need to do, this crank or index crank has to be rotated for 2 complete revolutions. After that, I need to move from that point, I need to move to the 4th hole in the 18-hole circle, so that you can generate 18 number of teeth on the work part. So now let us move on to one more example. If I want to produce only 6 number of teeth on the work part. So what is the formula here? 40 by 6. So what is the fraction, mixed fraction here? 6, 2 by 3. So now the point you need to understand is the denominator will indicate which hole circle I need to use. So is the 3-hole circle is available? We don't have the 3-hole circle. So what we need to do here? We need to multiply this with some common factor. So what happens here? This will be converted into 10 by 15. Is the 15-hole circle is available or not? That is what we have to check. Yes, 15-hole circle is available. That is again plate number 1. So what we need to do? So we need to rotate the crank for 6 complete revolutions, and after that I need to move to the 10th hole in the 15-hole circle. 15th hole circle. That is what this example explains. Now let us move to the one more example. If suppose if I want to achieve 160 number of teeth on the work part. So what should I need to do? The formula is 40 by 160. So what we are going to have? 4 by 60. Okay, is the 16-hole circle is available? Yes, 16-hole circle is available. So what we need to do? I need to rotate the crank or index crank for 1 complete rotation, and then 4th hole in 16-hole circle. I hope that these examples will give you some idea related to the simple indexing. Now let us move to the angular indexing. So angular indexing is very much similar to the simple indexing, but the only thing is here we are measuring the angular displacement of the work part. So we already understood that for 1 complete revolution or complete rotation of the crank will lead to what? Will lead to 1 by 40th revolution of the work part. So what is 1 revolution of the work part? That is 360 degrees. So what it means? That is 9 degrees. So for 1 complete rotation of the crank, the spindle shaft which is holding the work part, that is rotated by 9 degrees. So if you want to achieve the angular displacement which is less than 9 degrees, then what is the formula I need to use? The formula is index crank movement is given as angular displacement of the work by 9 degrees. So let us take some examples so that you will get the better understanding. If I want to achieve 15 degrees angular movement, then what is the formula I can use? 15 degrees by 9. This is equal to 1, 6 by 9. Okay. Now the point is 9-hole circle is available here. Let us check. I think that is not available. So what we need to do? We need to multiply with some common factor. So this is 1 followed by 18. So 18-hole circle is available. So what we need to do? I need to rotate the crank by 1 complete revolution, and from there 12th hole in the 18-hole circle. In this way you can achieve the angular indexing. The same formula can be expressed in minutes, that can be expressed in also seconds. If